Hello everyone. Welcome to our deep dive into the world of fasting. Today, we're busting the top myths surrounding this ancient practice. Fasting, which involves abstaining from food and/or drinks for a set period of time, has gained popularity recently, but also carries many misconceptions. And in case you are new to our channel, the goal of the Truth Index is to reflect the relative accuracy of a statement. The index has 5 ratings in decreasing level of truthfulness: true, mostly true, half true, mostly false, and false. Please refer to the description of video below for more details of each rating. So, let's separate fact from fiction in a way that's informative and engaging. Fasting always leads to rapid weight loss. Half true. According to Harvard Health, while fasting can initially result in weight loss, it's often just water weight. True fat loss requires a more sustainable approach. Fasting detoxifies the body. Mostly false. Johns Hopkins Medicine clarifies that the body naturally detoxifies via the liver and kidneys, with little evidence that fasting significantly boosts this process. You can't exercise while fasting. Mostly false. Contrary to popular belief, Mayo Clinic advises that moderate exercise is feasible during fasting, though intense workouts might require additional nutrition. Fasting is unhealthy for everyone. False. Fasting's health impact varies among individuals, as noted by the Cleveland Clinic. It's not universally unhealthy, but isn't suitable for everyone. Fasting slows down metabolism. Half true. The National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases reports that while short-term fasting doesn't significantly alter metabolism, prolonged fasting can lead to a slowdown. Unlimited calories are okay in non-fasting periods. False. The American Heart Association emphasizes that effective fasting involves mindful eating during non-fasting periods, not overindulgence. Fasting leads to muscle loss. Mostly true. Prolonged fasting can indeed lead to muscle loss, but as the National Institutes of Health points out, strategic nutrition planning can minimize this risk. Everyone should fast regularly for health benefits. False. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics highlights that fasting isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, particularly for those with certain health conditions. Fasting causes nutrient deficiencies. Half true. Harvard School of Public Health advises that while short-term fasting typically doesn't cause nutrient deficiencies, longer fasting periods might. Fasting is the same as starving. False. As the United Nations World Food Programme explains, fasting is a voluntary and controlled practice, in contrast to involuntary and harmful starvation. Fasting improves mental clarity for everyone. Half true. While some people report improved focus during fasting, this varies. The American Psychological Association notes that initial fasting can cause cognitive sluggishness before any potential clarity boost. Fasting is ineffective for blood sugar control. Mostly false. Contrary to this myth, the American Diabetes Association states that when done correctly, fasting can aid in blood sugar regulation, although it's not suitable for all diabetics. Fasting causes eating disorders. Mostly false. The National Eating Disorders Association clarifies that while fasting can be a risk factor, it doesn't directly cause eating disorders, but those with a history should be cautious. Fasting always reduces blood pressure. Half true. According to the American Heart Association, fasting may reduce blood pressure in some individuals, but the effect isn't universal and depends on overall diet and lifestyle. Fasting is just a trend and has no historical significance. False. Fasting has a rich historical and cultural significance, as documented by the Smithsonian Institution, being practiced for centuries across various cultures for religious and health reasons. Fasting cures chronic diseases. Mostly false. While fasting can have health benefits, the Mayo Clinic advises that it's not a cure-all for chronic diseases, and should not replace conventional medical treatment. Pregnant women can safely fast. False. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists strongly advises against fasting during pregnancy due to potential risks to both mother and child. Fasting is beneficial for children. False. Pediatricians, including those from the American Academy of Pediatrics, generally do not recommend fasting for children due to their unique nutritional needs for growth and development. Intermittent fasting is just skipping breakfast. False. Intermittent fasting, as defined by the National Institute on Aging, involves structured time periods of eating and fasting, and is more complex than simply skipping a meal like breakfast. Fasting weakens the immune system. Half true. While prolonged fasting affects the immune system, short-term fasting can boost immune function. This nuanced view is supported by research from the University of Southern California. Fasting causes dehydration. Mostly false. Dehydration during fasting is a risk only if fluid intake is neglected. The Mayo Clinic advises that maintaining adequate hydration is crucial during fasting periods. Fasting is always linked to spiritual practices. False. While fasting has spiritual significance in many cultures, as noted by the Smithsonian Institution, it's also practiced for health, wellness, and other non-religious reasons. You can't take medications while fasting. Mostly false. The Cleveland Clinic points out that many medications can be taken while fasting, but it's essential to consult a healthcare provider, as some may require food. Fasting instantly improves skin health. Mostly false. The American Academy of Dermatology states that while certain skin conditions may benefit from dietary changes, fasting doesn't guarantee an immediate improvement in skin health. Fasting is the best way to lose weight. False. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, effective weight loss is best achieved through a balanced diet and regular exercise, rather than fasting alone. Fasting increases life expectancy. Half true. Research, including studies from the National Institute on Aging, shows potential links between fasting and longevity, but more research is needed to fully understand its impact on life expectancy. Fasting is dangerous for diabetics. Mostly true. The American Diabetes Association acknowledges that fasting can be risky for diabetics, especially without medical supervision, due to the potential for blood sugar fluctuations. Fasting improves brain function. Half true. Some studies, like those from the Harvard Medical School, suggest that fasting may have beneficial effects on brain health, but the evidence is not conclusive for all individuals. Fasting always leads to binge eating afterward. Mostly false. The National Eating Disorders Association explains that while some might experience increased food cravings post-fasting, it's not an inevitable outcome and can be managed with mindful eating strategies. Fasting causes irreversible metabolic damage. Mostly false. The National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases clarifies that while extreme fasting can impact metabolism, normal metabolic function typically resumes after normal eating patterns are re-established. Fasting leads to gallstone formation. Half true. According to the American College of Gastroenterology, prolonged fasting can increase the risk of gallstones due to bile stagnation, but this risk varies among individuals. Fasting is beneficial for everyone's heart health. Half true. The American Heart Association acknowledges that fasting may have heart health benefits for some, but it isn't universally beneficial and may pose risks for others, especially those with existing heart conditions. Fasting helps to cure cold and flu. False. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention advises that there is no scientific evidence to support that fasting cures colds or the flu, emphasizing the importance of nutrition and hydration during illness. Fasting boosts athletic performance. Mostly false. While some athletes practice fasting, the American Council on Exercise states that it typically doesn't enhance athletic performance and can sometimes hinder it due to reduced energy levels. Only water fasting is true fasting. False. The Cleveland Clinic explains that there are various forms of fasting, including intermittent fasting and partial fasts, which do not require solely consuming water to be considered fasting. Fasting is just a quick fix for weight loss. False. Sustainable weight loss involves long-term dietary changes and exercise, not just quick fixes like fasting, as per the National Institute of Health's guidelines on weight management. Fasting negatively affects all women's hormonal balance. Mostly false. While prolonged fasting can impact hormonal balance, especially in women, the Mayo Clinic reports that short-term fasting does not universally disrupt hormones and can be practiced safely with proper guidance. Fasting leads to bone density loss. Half true. According to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, extended periods of fasting can affect bone health, but short-term fasting does not typically have a significant impact on bone density. Fasting is always accompanied by severe hunger pangs. Mostly false. The experience of hunger during fasting varies. As the American Society for Nutrition explains, many individuals report a decrease in hunger after the initial adjustment period to fasting. We hope this video has shed light on some common fasting myths. What do you think? Share your thoughts and any other myths you've heard in the comments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, stay curious and informed.